This is the Wait For It podcast.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Wait For It podcast. I'm your co-host, Phil Barrera, aka Phil the Filipino.
And I'm your other co-host, Mr. Eric Almighty. And for this edition of Creator Spotlight, we are bringing on one of our favorite people, Phil. I think tail end of 2025, beginning of 2026. This guy, if you've been with us around certain conventions, he's been hanging out with us. If you've been watching us stream, he's been hanging out with us. We're hanging out with him tonight. And man, I think this is somehow really overdue, but I'm really glad we didn't wait much longer from this point, Phil.
100%. It is, we talk a lot about the community and the people that we've gotten to meet through podcasting. And then now we've expanded that community a little bit more through you on your end through streaming, and then me through voice acting. And I met this individual in 2025. We actually went through the same 101 course through closing credits as far as voice acting 101. We didn't really interact there, but then through some other channels, other discords, and other projects that we ended up working together on, he and I discovered that we were both not only voice actors, but of course not only voice actors, but also located here in this wonderful state of Florida. And that is how we got connected and have been able to link up a couple of times here. So we are very excited for this edition of Creator Spotlight to highlight our friend Brad Lane, a voice actor, streamer, content creator. Brad, thank you so much for joining us here tonight, and how are you doing?
I'm doing good, Phil. Thank you guys so much for having me today.
Yeah, man, we are excited to highlight your journey and let everybody know kind of what where this all started, not only the streaming, not only the voice acting, but also get to talk to you about, just your pop culture interests in general. So very excited to do all of that. If you need a reminder for any new listeners or returning listeners as to where to find everything Wait For It podcast related, as well as where to find Brad, make sure you stick around to the end of the episode. We'll make sure we'll let you know where you can find all of that. But Brad, if you'd like, please just take a moment to introduce yourself and what you do.
Of course. Hi there, everybody. So my name is Brad Lane. I am a Florida-based voice actor in Central Florida. I'm actually a native. I've been born and raised here since '92. I have always been a gamer at heart. I've always been into pop culture. I grew up with the Spider-Man 90s cartoons, so I was big into superheroes very early on, and I had an N64 when I was 5 years old, and my dad gave it to me, so gaming has really been a pinnacle and a step-by-step in my life, even towards college, when I went to, believe it or not, Winter Park's Full Sail University, and then just how the internet has grown into such a big media. It's like now everybody plays video games, everyone knows the things about comics, so it's just like, it's pretty much made me who I am, if I could say that.
Yeah, like I said, can't wait to deep dive into some of those fandoms that we share. I do want to shout out Brad for when we first met up at Holiday Matsuri last year. Awesome Spider-Man backpack. Just an awesome Spider-Man bag. I was like, okay, all right, this guy's got good taste. It's going to be a really, really good time. So, but yeah, Brad, let's jump into what you and I share here, which of course is the voice acting. Eric and I know a little bit about your story, but we want our audience to know what your story is as well. So take us through where all of that started. Do you have any, you talked about Full Sail. Did you have any type of, a lot of voice actors we speak with have a theater or drama background? Do you have any of that, or what was it that got you into voice acting and wanting you to pursue this line of work?
No, that's great. So the start of the voice acting journey, I would say it really wasn't an idea of mine. I've just been a fan of just anime subbed or dubbed. Don't hate me in the comments. It's just even for subbed, I would just say the words in my head or just act them. So it was not even an idea. It was just something I did passionately, and I ran through it. How it really started was, I believe it was a convention in Tampa. It wasn't Comic-Con. It might have possibly been MetroCon at the Convention Avenue in Orange County, I believe. I just had a friend of mine. I was meeting KG Tang, who's a voice actor for Berserk's Guts in the, yes, not so great, 2015 anime. I didn't care. I respected his role. I wanted him to sign a Berserk book. And a friend of mine looked at me dead in my eye and said, you know what? Why don't you just try out for one? And that inception moment happened where it's I didn't even think that was an idea. So it's an epiphany hit me where it's I don't even know where to start or where even to begin. So I ironically fell upon Casting Call Club, where it was just as simple as make an account, get a computer, get a microphone, and just hit record. So for any of you guys listening that just want to get into voice acting, just get your phone, get a script, pick your favorite piece of media or your favorite dialogue or script, and just act it. And if you listen back to it and you go, this can work out for me, it might work out for you. Take it from me. So ever since I started casting Call Club, it's just been boom, boom, boom. Started taking closing credits around 2020, maybe late 24, early 25. And since then, I've been doing this for about 2 years and I've met some wonderful people. I got to meet you guys and it has been an amazing experience for me.
It's pretty crazy because, like we said, you know, when we first started talking and then finding out you're in Florida and then adding you to that group chat, and it was wild to see, oh my gosh, there are so many people that are in a very similar space, but not only in a similar point of their voice acting journey, but also so willing to be helpful. I cannot speak highly enough of it. All starts with previous guest Eric, right, Josh Portillo, and then that whole group, and then that has just expanded. Rue, of course, and Donald, who have been just these wonderful sources of not only advice but also encouragement, which has been really, really great. So I do want to take the opportunity early on here, Brad, and Eric will also agree with this, to just commend you on your attitude to all this, because this is a very difficult thing to pursue. There's a lot of rejection, there is a lot of trial and error, and I have taken a page out of your book in terms of your ability to stay, keep head above, even though we've talked very openly, you and I, privately about the struggles, but you have such a great attitude about all of this, and I personally have taken a page out of your book in that, so I want to make sure to give you your flowers on that, because you do a great job with that, you really do.
Yeah, and it should be noted that Phil doesn't change for anybody, so you got to be pretty important. You got to have some type of real positive impact, and I can also second the positive nature. It's one of the things we were excited to have you on for, and we'll talk about that positive nature here in a minute, because I think it's it's just so interesting to meet you in person and then to hear some of the voices you do. So we're gonna get to that in a minute. Brad, I want to ask you though, for the people that are wondering at home, you obviously just put together this sound booth behind you. That is what we see in the background. And I gotta ask you, because I'm sure, like, from when you first started voice acting, you had different equipment. You had a different setup. You didn't even know really where to start. And now you've got some upgraded equipment. You've got that sound booth behind you. You're obviously still learning, and I'm learning from Phil as he learns about some of the challenges and what he would do differently. I'm just curious where you are right now in your career. If there was one crucial thing you could go back to the start and do over with what you know now, what would that be?
One thing I would do that I would change, like if I was to go back 2 years and like, hey, do this or invest in this, I think I would have invested in closet space. Because when it comes to, there's two different terms I'm going to teach everyone who's listening. There's the difference between soundproof and sound treating. And just as Eric said, I fully agree with that. Thank you, man. That yes, this is a learning experience. No one's a master of this overnight. There's so much to learn. You have to be a sponge and just absorb from everything you can, from as much YouTube University as you can, from your peers, and obviously feedback. You must be able to take feedback in this industry. Not everyone's gonna like your takes. Not everyone's gonna like how you sound. And so you just have to, I'm gonna say this is to one of my employees at my current job. She taught me this harsh lesson. Sometimes you need to take the L and move on. And I'm like, you know what? In a career, as Phil said, with rejection, you have to take that. So there's a lot of youngins out there that just can't take it, and it's too serious. So take that. So I'm not getting off track. For Eric, what I would do differently is I would have maybe not set up in my dining room with a laptop and a Xbox microphone. I wouldn't do that. I would have maybe put the laptop in a closet and get a better microphone, and that might have avoided this. But as a learning experience, this is the investment. And I'm not ashamed that I did this, because as a person, I was able to grow and make this a reality. This was something I had envisioned for 2 months, but because going through a job change and money, I'm like, if I want to level up, I have to lock this down. I have to budget, and I have to set up and just make it happen. So what I would have done, Eric, differently is maybe start in a better spot. Back to soundproofing and treating. If you sound treat, there's no sound. You're not getting any feedback from your audio. Your next door neighbor can't hear the lawnmower. Soundproof means absolute darkness. Absolute zero at all. Now that's a good thing, but that's more of the professional industry, is your soundproofing. The only thing you should hear is me. Sound treating is you could still work in a safe environment without having to leave your home. That's treating the sound, not proofing it. If I wanted to take it away, I would have put guardrails on my AC vents and called it a day. But I wouldn't recommend that. So just do your research, people, on where you want to put your stuff. There's nothing wrong with the closet. I've seen many people use closets and it looks fantastic. So whatever works best for you to treat your sound, that's my piece of advice if you could take it with you. Don't start with a laptop and an Xbox mic in your dining room. Maybe do that when you're starting to feel like this is a career you want to go through. But if you want to go to the next level, try to sound treat your space.
Yeah, and I think that's one thing a lot of people like either get complacent about or just scared about is making those upgrades. Like Phil knows for a fact that like I've been very happy since I upgraded my audio interface. Some of my lighting, got a new camera. I've got additional screens, especially when streaming, which we'll talk about streaming here at some point, I'm sure. But like, again, ever since I've made those upgrades, I've felt better about the quality of work and the ability to work. But at the same time, like me and Phil had none of this starting out. Like we were just both on a mic, not editing, coughing.
On a dining room table.
On a dining room table, actually. We would be coughing. One of us would be sick, have the sniffles. No editing. You can't find those episodes anymore. But we learned a lot from those. And yeah, I love everything you kind of delivered there. I did want to bring up back to the original point about a lot of the voices that you do. If you guys didn't know, and again, a lot of this will be in the show notes, Brad has an animation demo, a character reel, commercial reel. You guys really got to check some of these out. They're real short, but they've got multiple different voices and things that you could check out. And Brad, I just got to commend you because when we met, like, I was like, what? This is like the nicest guy. And you've got like such a specific voice that like, I wouldn't think you were a voice actor, which again is commendable for you that you can put on those masks and do the character voices. I always look at Phil and I know Phil and I get kind of starstruck because it's like he has that one, one project where he's the co-lead now, Phil, if you want to plug that here in a minute. But yeah, it's like hearing him in that, it's like, who is that person? I've known that person for almost all my life now, it feels. So like, that's crazy. And listening to you, Brad, it's just like really, really crazy to see the quality of work that you're doing. So again, congrats on that. And Phil, I know you feel equally as proud as well.
Yeah, man. I mean, we talked for pretty much all of 2025 about the upgrades that you wanted to make and, the strides in the projects that you wanted to do, and then also getting that reel set up with Jay Sharp. Shout out to Jay, who I'm also working with now. He does great work. So yeah, getting those reels has been great, especially again in the circles that we have got of the people that we've gotten to meet. They're looking to actively work with us and get us work. I think that's the one thing that has been very apparent in this business so far is that like a lot of voice actors have said like 75% of the work that you get is because people want to work with you. Obviously, you have to be out there and auditioning. And for those of you that don't know, Brad has a crazy audition streak overall in closing credits. I just very like briefly looked at my submissions than yours. Maybe we won't talk about it actually as far as numbers because I have been slacking, but that's okay. But yeah, I mean, this goes all the way back, Eric, to our very first Bold Matsuri when Elizabeth Maxwell's advice was just don't be a dick and just be a nice person and be somebody that people want to be around. And Brad, you're definitely doing that part correctly as well. So to keep it on the voice acting side of things, like Eric mentioned, your reel and the type of all the different voices that you're able to portray, the different tones, different types of characters. If you were to be thrust into a show, movie, anime, or anything like that right now, either that has already ended or it's still going on, What show do you think that would be? What would be your choice? What universe would you like to join?
Oh man, see, that's tough. But when it comes to understanding, what am I trying to say? The archetypes. When it comes to my favorite archetypes, I think we learned that with shout out to Jamil Burgers. Yes,
Yeah,
I remember he talking about archetypes. I think when it comes to what I like to voice the most, what I think I can express through my full personality and persona, I would like to say that I love the narration role. I know you and I worked hard on a project where I loved narrating. I promise you, every new script I could feel myself progressively getting better. By the time we got to season 2 and we did a trailer, I was blown away. That it's like from episode 1 to this moment, I'm like, I love narration. Shout out to the voice actress for Baldur's Gate 3. I always just put her in my shoes when it comes to expressing everything that's happening from a narration standpoint. The other archetype, because I can only think of 2 of them that I could use to my best abilities, would be I like the shonen shogo, like energetic best friend kind of guy. Like almost every persona best friend, I love being in that seat. I like to be the guy that will be the most loyal to you, the guy who's always got your back, and the guy who's the most energetic. That's like, I'm gonna take a bullet for you, man. Don't you mess with my friends. That's what I'm here for. I love those characters that I can't help but see myself in them. So I like to just be myself. And a lot of people ask you, what kind of voices could you do? What's your range? And I'm like, give me a line. Give me something. Because at that point, you just talking to me, this is who you're gonna hear, like 90% of the time, is because as voice actors, we're putting ourselves in the shoes. We're wearing the mask, but we know who's underneath it. It's just, you have to kind of paint the picture with your words, is what Burgers taught us. So, most of the time, and people that know me and hear me day to day, you're like, you just sound like you. I'm like, that's the point. How did it sound as me, though? Did I act like someone different? Could you tell that I'm putting on an act? That's voice acting. Is the voice is 100% you? The acting is the rest of it. So I'm like, you just give me a classic anime of just best friend character, that's probably going to be who I'm going for. As much as I would love to be the MC, I get to say at work, you want the manager, I am him. That's what I'd love to give you. But that and narration, I would say, is my favorite. I did portray a villain for like an off-brand Doctor Who episode that's on YouTube right now, and he has a filter on me, and I go, I am frightening. I'm like, there's no way that's me. I know there's like 80% filter, but that's what everyone says. If you love being the hero, try the villain sometimes. Just like Tom Hiddleston said, you might like playing as the villain. You just have to try it.
Yeah, I have always had an affinity for layered villains, so that would be like my kind of ideal role, someone that kind of like toes that line that people are hesitant to root for, but there are reasons to do that. But yeah, I mean, and that is how we've met in terms of your narration voice too. So like I can definitely see like that is your very much your comfort zone for sure. And also another makes a lot of sense as to why you why we initially linked up when it came to a project that didn't end up going so well, but that's okay. That is, you live and you learn, and those things certainly happen. But yeah, Eric, but it's been again, it's so cool not seeing someone else who is on kind of early on in their voice acting journey as well, and getting to hear that other people are going through similar trial and error, and I think that's always great. And it's also really funny how a lot of similarities come from early voice acting and early podcasting. Like, yeah, we did all of that right there in the in our dining room, one microphone, no sound filter, none of that going on. So
listen,
it
man,
all comes around.
We're all just stumbling through life trying to do our best. That's really what it comes down to. I did love though, Brad, how you mentioned just being yourself and doing the acting, not necessarily the voices. I think, there's a lot of examples, but the one I think you guys will be able to relate to is our buddy Rico Fajardo, who is an amazing voice actor, and how he does a lot of the same voices. Like he's Lemillion in My Hero Academia, and then he's Isagi in Blue Lock, and the voices are the same, but those are not the same characters. Those are not the same. And the acting is in both is superb, but especially in Blue Lock is like next level because of where he takes his voice and that specific character with his voice. Just really, really fantastic stuff. But Brad, you don't just wear one hat. You wear multiple talented hats. And one of those other ones that I've been, I've had the pleasure of getting to see you do is streaming. And of course, Brad, aka Shadow Brad, does a great job. This is probably going to be where you and me find a moment each to plug Meld. That'll come in time. It's okay. It's just obligatory. But before we even do that, I just kind of want to get your insight into why you started streaming, what joy you find out of it, or what pleasure you get out of it. Because when you get on there, I mean, like how you're doing now, you're not doing much different on stream. You're very much authentically yourself. You're very much in a teaching mode. I think that's something that you just have in you. You just want to teach people things that they didn't know or things they could get better at. You're doing that here on this episode, and it's very much present in your stream. So like, what do you get out of the streaming? What got you into it? What keeps you going? All of that under the sun. Talk about the streaming game for us and your role in it.
Absolutely. Well, to save a very long story short, because I've technically been on Twitch for about over 10 years. And how it started, the origination of how the story started it was right at the point where YouTube finally got to like its peak, where everyone's doing Let's Plays, everyone's doing like how-to videos, everyone's just doing clip montages. So I sat down, I was working at GameStop at that point, which Phil and I also have a history with GameStop, by the way. I had a bunch of friends. We were Buffalo Wild Wings, and because it was right next door to a GameStop, I'm like, what if like the 6 of us just make like a Twitch team? And then that way we were getting like 6 different tastes of video games, 6 different personas on one screen, like a community, like the achievement hunters or all those guys. Clearly they're doing well. Why can't we do like that? It's just for fun, right? I didn't care about money. I don't care about fame. I just do it because it's fun. After maybe 1 to 2 years of that crashed and burned. That team, it dwindled down to yours truly, who got the keys to the city, who got all those numbers and fan bases, which has trickled down because your boy's been on at least 3 hiatuses because of life, career changes, moving, relationships. So if you check out ShadowBrad727 on Twitch, yeah, he's got 1.5 thousand followers. Are they still here with us? No. But that's okay. That's okay. So I have a history. Yes, and just like Eric said, I'm still learning. Because Meld is such a beautiful system that makes it friendly for anyone to get into streaming, even if it's just for fun. So to answer the next question is, why do you do it and what do you get out of this? Especially since this account is so old. Why do I do this? So the real silly answer that I love to say it is at one point, my girlfriend was living in Lakeland and I live around the St. Pete, Tampa area. So it's about like an hour and a half of change. So she wanted more screen time with me, and not saying FaceTime is a bad thing. So I decided, why don't I turn on Twitch and play games so we can kind of have like mutual time together to speak and to just chat and just pretend you're in the room with me. And then voice acting turned into where voice actors for games and media started trickling into the way on Twitch. So I'm not saying I was taking this method, it just seemed convenient and it seemed to work hand in hand. If I'm on a project or something I get to announce, instead of vlogging it, why don't you just stream it? Why don't you just show it off? So there seemed to be so many things that were more pros than cons to stream. So at one point, voice acting and Twitch streaming / content creating became hand in hand. So I thought, I'm not just posting about voice acting, I'm posting everything at this point. So as we stream right now, it's just solely for fun. Yes, I get to work with other voice actors. Yes, I get to collab with other streamers like these gentlemen here that I'm chatting with right now. So all in all, if anyone's asking me, what are you getting out of Twitch? It's just damn good fun. People are paying to watch me get scared. The videos you guys have saw, those were paid by best friends of mine. And do I get nightmares every day? Yes. That's why they pay for the therapy bills. So I just like being in front of a camera just as myself, just playing games I love. There's nothing I love more than, like, I grew up with no brothers and sisters. I moved a lot, so I didn't have very many friends to enjoy gaming with. So this streaming and this voice acting community kind of became like literally family to me, like brothers and sisters and cousins, and people just wanted to just chat and be cool with me. So I'm like, let me check out their stream. I'm just typing really fast in the comments, and I'm just like, you know what? These are great people. And then in turn, they just end up here, and I'm so blessed to get all this attention that I don't deserve. I don't deserve any of this. So all in all, I just love doing this. It's now become like a routine. Just like when you go to the gym or you get a steady diet, consistency becomes like breathing. So it's taken a hot minute to get this in working order and streaming in working order, but I can finally say of March 17, 2026, and I've expressed this with both of you, I had a hard time picking a stream schedule. I can happily say that as of today, I think I finally got something to work. So streaming has just been very beneficial towards everything.
Yeah, and you know, the fact that you are so passionate about your positivity towards it is just, again, infectious. And I love that entire approach about it, because I think, especially for consistent streaming, like, you can stream whenever you want, but for consistent streaming, which I'm finally getting into the groove this month, of course, you know, the month of March we're recording through a wrench with a lot of stuff going in. But for the most part, I have a plan and a schedule and an approach to it, and then an approach to content, which is something I've been wanting to do more going into this year, and I've kind of achieved at the start, and I kind of want to keep going with that. All of that falls in line if you're having a good time, and I could genuinely say as well, I have a really good time when people pop in my chat and, you know, donate points. And unfortunately, by the time this episode comes out, 2 days from now, I may or may not be, probably will be dressed up as a Navi from the world of Avatar for my 1 year anniversary stream on the 10th. So listen, you got to enjoy it if you're going to do stuff like that. So I definitely feel you there. And Phil, I had to get some of the streaming questions out of the way for sure, because otherwise we would just talk about Meld Studio, which you are also enjoying. So, you know, for any streamers out there that hate OBS, listen, I know it's all reliable, but this is not sponsored. Meld Studio, though, just gonna let you know now.
Yeah, you can launch OBS into the sun, to be honest with you. It's even though streaming is not necessarily my thing, having something like Meld just make it easier is such a huge just weight lifted. So even though I'm not doing it as much as you guys are, to not have to be stressed about, God, I hope OBS doesn't fuck up today, that makes a huge difference. So that has been great as well. But yeah, Brad, I mean, you've told us that before, but I just love the story of like just wanting to have games to play to be closer to somebody, like, again, with no intention of building an audience, and then an audience just naturally shows up. So again, whenever I told Eric he's gonna have to play Avatar on stream, I hope the one with him dressed up as a Navi is the one that pushes him over the top, because then he'll have to do that forever.
I'm gonna let you know now. I'm just gonna prepare you now. I'm gonna make as many clips as possible from that stream. So I am starting to think about it, and like, again, from the beginning of the gameplay, like, I might make a whole YouTube video of it.
How much Navi have you learned as of today?
Oh God.
I am telling you, not a lot, but I have looked into it, and I am going to try to figure out a way to incorporate certain words I've memorized.
Is there a dictionary like there is like Dothraki and?
I do believe. No, I think so. There's like a whole thing. I could learn it. I could maybe just Duolingo do it. Do they do that now?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Is there a Google Translate for that? Let's look into that.
Yeah,
it might be possible, but yeah, I am. Spoiler alert! I am looking into certain Navi words that I can maybe do on command. So, also maybe some chants and dances. Who knows?
Yeah, what's hydrate in Navi? Because Briar's gonna need to know.
Briar's gonna do it. Yes, it's gonna be tough. I'm so scared.
The only Navi I know is Jake Sully. That's all you're getting out of me, guys. Jake Sully's.
I like
also,
that.
Let's cut back to when I met you guys at that holiday Matsuri. Phil got literally shouted out by his Instagram name. Imagine there's a con, it's like, that's the Avatar guy! Oh my God! No way!
That's my nightmare. That's my nightmare.
I didn't like recognize you when you weren't blue.
crazy. I'm probably gonna have the ears and the tail and stuff too. Like, it's gonna be a whole thing, man. It's good. I'm so nervous, but I'm also really excited.
How many points for you to just go out and do like errands?
Briar asked me how much it would take for me to go to Collective Con all 3 days dressed up.
But
And I
don't
was
acknowledge it. Just don't acknowledge it. That's
I
all.
was like, buddy, if you could get me to 1,000 Twitch followers, I would consider it. I'd highly consider it.
That's fair, by the way. That's fair.
Yeah, channel points can be wasted. Followers, though, that's a different thing. Even if you buy them, it's hard to get to 1,000.
Don't ever sell yourself short, kids. Aim for the sky.
I can imagine it being like, remember the Ryan Reynolds clip very recently where he's like, "Are you in a volcano?" Somebody be like, "Are you dressed as a Navi?" Like, that would be.
Yeah.
I mean, the goal is to get you on the red carpet for Avatar 4, and you're gonna have like 8 years before that movie comes out, so you have time.
Oh, great. Oh my God. Yeah, it's... Listen, enough about the Navi. I didn't know Avatar was going to take over, but I will say it's going to be a good time. And that's one of the things, like, that's awesome about getting into the streaming game and figuring that out. I mean, this will be my 1-year anniversary when I go to do that, of just streaming. And my affiliate anniversary will be a few months after that. So, like, when I started it, a year ago, I wasn't expecting in the first couple months, even if they did lower the tiers, I still felt good about earning it. Because it's not easy to do. It really isn't, even with the lower tiers. But I would have gotten it maybe another month or two later had they not done that. So to get in the first couple months of streaming regardless and get that affiliate status was like, oh, like, people want to see me do this. And as I've continued to do it more, I've met a lot of people in the community. And Phil, I know, again, your community and relationship with Brad, and finding people like that you can really share common ground with has been just such a boon for our positivity that we need in our lives.
Yeah, 100%. Keeping people around that are going to not only, of course, celebrate your wins, but also be there for you whenever there are learning moments, when there are moments of opportunity, to keep you up is very, very important. So, yeah, and Brad, like I said, you've been a big part of that, and also some of the other people we've gotten to meet through this. So it's been really, really great to continue to build that community. I want to talk to you. I want to kind of maybe transition here, Brad, into some of the pop culture stuff that you are into. We already have mentioned Spider-Man. I would love to know what is you've played Marvel Rivals on stream as well, which we still need to just hop on Marvel Rivals one night with. For some reason, we just haven't done that, the three of us, even though Eric and I don't really play it too much anymore. The thing that's great about Rivals, though, is it's one of those games you can jump into really at any point, even though like the meta may change and the characters may change, you can still jump in and have some fun with it. I would love to know why Spider-Man, of course, is one of your favorite characters, but also what your level of interest is in terms of Marvel now. The MCU had a decade of dominance, and it ended, as far as the Infinity Saga, on probably the highest note ever in the history of just cinema, pop culture. Nothing like that will ever be done again, I don't think. So I would love to know, again, why Spider-Man resonates with you as a character, and also, like I said, what are your thoughts on Marvel and the MCU and how those things sit now?
No, so Spider-Man, the fascination with Spider-Man began in the 1990s Fox cartoon, which was on at the time. I was very big into cartoons, which a lot of us are, because I feel like where a lot of the Spider-Man fandom came from if you weren't reading comics. Just for a small bit of context, I never touched, read, or collected comic books till I was 17. So for all those years, I didn't even know that was a thing. I was just like watching it like just normal Friday, Saturday night cartoon. And I just loved how this dude had like two personas. Like, sure, there was like the Batman animated series, but it was something about the color and just something about the character of this guy had how he would be a superhero on the fly, and then he would deal with relationship issues, which a lot of us can resonate with like paying your bills, getting to work on time, like very adult themes. You wouldn't think like a 6 or 8-year-old kid would like resonate with that, but you wanted to root for this guy. You wanted him to be the hero. You wanted him to get the girl. You wanted him to have big success. But the guy kept failing as Peter Parker, but he doesn't give up on being a superhero. He doesn't give up on being Spider-Man, which is that thing that his Uncle Ben left for him. So it became like growing up like a lesson where we're all gonna fail in our lives. We're gonna have moments where we're gonna struggle, where we're going to be lost, or we're going to be angry, or we're gonna be sad, or we're gonna be in a corner and we're not, I can't breathe and I don't know what to do. At the end of the day, just don't lose yourself. Just stay who you are, believe in your own believe in the me that believes in you, and you could get through anything. I'm not saying I've had the worst position in my life or childhood or anything. I'm not an expert on pro-life or any type of therapeutic history, but how I feel like it is if you are naturally who you are and you don't lose your way, you could conquer anything. If you just do that. And this guy, this superhero, who can literally throw cars, who can like fight 7 villains in a night, he still goes home and he still pays his bills. He still goes to work. Yes, he forgot that coffee date with his lady friend, but that's okay. Because he had an awful excuse, like he fell downstairs or something, but he made it work. So I'm not saying be a liar, just don't lose your way. And that's what he did. So I liked that this dude was just always himself, no matter what. Yes, there are moments in your life where you'll lose your identity and you'll have an infinite crisis. Shout out to DC Comics. I got to use your title, sorry. You know, it's just, and as I grew up for this dude, I learned more about him. Then let's go to the year 2002 when Tobey Maguire gets a movie, and this little kid in me was like, now I get to watch this on the big screen. And then you have like this history of these not Marvel MCU movies coming out, and then we finally get then you get Andrew Garfield. That's a story I'll just skip right over before this takes too long. Liked your movies, Andrew. I liked your movies. You were the best Spider-Man. I can't say the hot skateboarder dude is the Peter Parker I thought you were, but I digress. Then let's go to the MCU finally got on its feet with Robert Downey Jr.'s Tony Stark Iron Man. So badly, I knew about this clash between Sony and Rival and this contract. Thanks, Stan Lee and everybody, for selling your IPs to all these distributors. Like, it's a Hulu TV series or whatever. And then we finally got Captain America Civil War. I'll never forget that on the roof trailer I was shaking. That I saw a small teenager struggling with life wearing the nice red and blue with the spider emblem on it. I was so proud and happy at the same time that it took 3 actors to finally get where we were on our feet. And then he gets a few movies here and there. He gets to help with the Avengers and the Guardians, I guess, if you want to be a little, if I could put my glasses on for a second. What a like symphony you gave us, like the Infinity Saga, all the way to like Infinity War, and then to Endgame, and then to answer Phil's question of like, how have you feel since the fall of Endgame, which is a very, very popular question to the Marvel fans. How do you feel since then? I still don't know. The one thing everyone loved about the Marvel MCU's movies was not only the movie itself, it's when it ended. And you would sit to those 12 to 15 minute credits, talking to your friends, hyping out about the movie, and it's like, okay, everyone shut up. Screen goes to black, and it plays the next tease of what's to come. If not a movie sequel, a tease of the next movie you're excited to see. There's a point in the MCU movie theater history where we were getting like 5 to maybe 7 movies a year. So it would be like every other month we had something to look forward to. We are not in the same position we are 10 years ago. We get maybe 1, maybe 3 movies a year. I don't know if technology has grown since COVID really hit us. Inflation, I guess. Use whatever excuse you want to throw the wall at. But we're not the same anymore. And I don't know if it's greed. I don't know if it's time well not spent. Script writing, maybe? Actors having issues with filming multiple movies? We've lost our way this past like 5 years. And my hope is with the new Spider-Man that comes out, I want to say June or July. That's when it was at least teased. We'll find out. Stick around. We'll find out on the next trailer that comes out tomorrow. Hopefully we get a release date. My hope is that Doomsday brings us back to form, where we're going to get all these collections of all these actors we've watched. Going back to when I said I loved Spider-Man when we started the 2002 movies, which he showed up at the last 2 actors show up in the last movie. and it made a lot of money. So Marvel said, why don't we take all these old heads and bring them in one big movie? Yeah? But let's make it a two-parter, because everyone's got to have at least 10 or 20 minutes of screen time. I get that. Somebody needs a paycheck. Somebody does need a paycheck because we need movies to happen more often. So instead, they just gave us the Ultimate Super Smash Brothers and just put them all in one thing. So my hope is that brings us back to form. So that way we all remember that we got hyped for pieces of these movies to become the next Avengers. And when you all sat down and watched the Avengers, you had somebody you liked that you were rooting for. That's not what's happening in the last 5 years. Instead, we're just getting nostalgia bombed by all these old movies that we loved, that we could still sit down and watch. I just watched all the last X-Men movies recently. They still hold up to this day, because it's just, those are magical times for us, from cartoons to the comics, to put them on the big screen. Yeah. I'm not like a comic book artist or expert on or reviewer, but damn, did those movies hit. So I hope with Doomsday, let's go back to that again.
I think what's also happening is and this is with film in general, is people are a lot more afraid to be experimental, especially after, like we talked about, Eternals, which did not do, of course, what they wanted it to do. I think after Guardians, because once Guardians was a hit, they're like, oh, we can do anything. I, of course, love Shang-Chi, but it wasn't the most well-received film. Obviously, Captain Marvel has been a mixed bag. There's so many TV shows, so really what it has come down to, a lot of it has come down to is they are afraid, because they have fallen from this pedestal that they were currently on. Of course, one is oversaturation. There's been too much to keep up with, but also, again, just the lack of the commitment to try something out. Remember, Iron Man was a C-tier character when they started off the MCU. Like, Iron Man was people knew who Iron Man was, but like RDJ and the MCU and Favreau brought that character front and center. So now they're kind of a little bit more afraid to do that because of the monetary ramifications, and that's kind of why we're in the place that we're in now.
Also, let's also talk about how the Sonyverse did, because you're right, because we kind of got oversaturated.
What do you mean, Madam Web and
I
Craven and Morbius?
Yeah,
Morbin Power.
It's Morbin time.
time.
Yeah, come on, guys.
We got 3 Venom movies.
We did, and
argument can be made. None of them were good. Maybe the first one.
We did.
Yeah, maybe the first one was good, but
I actually, did I watch the first Venom? I know I've seen 2 and 3, but I don't know that. I've watched I've watched all 3.
Spoilers for anybody. They did the, oh god, what's the name? They did, oh come on, remember. There's the team of all separation anxiety. Yes. So the last movie, spoilers. Sorry, Tom Hardy. They were supposed to give us like all the different variations of Venom, like its spawn. They were wiped out within seconds of that movie. So that would have grown him as a character to be like, I'm not just a solo hero. I have kids now. It doesn't matter. You killed them all. It doesn't matter. That was a literal slap to my face. Carnage, I liked Carnage. I just don't know why you would give it to Woody Harrelson. You could have given that suit to any other star-crazed actor. I just was like, I can see the physicality. I don't know.
I'll be honest with you. The Tom Hardiness of it all kind of ran its course after the first one. Like, it didn't get any better.
And I love Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
And I didn't enjoy his Venom. Or his
the voice was good.
Okay, good.
Voice was good. The character design, I like the character design of
didn't
Venom.
have anything to do with.
What? How would you have felt if the symbiote didn't speak? Because that to me was like, oh, okay, so we gotta have like a bonding symbiotic moment. I like that. But when I heard Tom Hardy's just talking to himself, I was like, oh, I mean, all right, double the paycheck. How would you both have felt if the symbiote didn't speak? Do you think the movie would have been any different, or do you think that wouldn't have worked in like those moments? How do you feel?
I think it was like the lesser of the problems that those movies had.
Yeah.
That was on the totem pole of problems. It was there, but it was probably like towards the bottom. Like, that movie had a lot of humor issues. That movie had a lot of pacing issues. It definitely had villain issues, for sure. I mean, again, you put Carnage in there, it should be good. It should not bring down the movie. And unfortunately, we don't get a lot of carnage. We get a lot of the human form. No, that's just not good. Woody Harrelson in that movie, criminal.
Yeah, it's kind of like when you watch the Transformers movies. It's like, or Godzilla. Not talking bad about any of the Godzilla movies. Let's just, before you start throwing hate in the comments.
Yeah, Phil loves the American Godzillas too, so he loves them all.
Just hear me out. When it comes to like those moments when there's a character that's front and center on the poster, that's front and center on the title, Godzilla, Transformers, Venom, that's majority of who I should be seeing. So it's like, there are good moments in Godzilla and Transformers where side human characters are there, but sometimes I'm sitting in the film with my half-eaten buttered popcorn, I'm like, or I'll say this, or the Sonic movies, and I'm like, I'm sorry, why do I care about these human characters right now? I want to see more of this blue hedgehog saying, gotta go fast! Where's that? So, when it came to Venom, it's like growing up, it's like, the symbiote shouldn't speak. It's using him to communicate externally. So when I saw that Tom Hardy got the role, I was totally fine with that. I love Tom Hardy as well. But when I just found out that the symbiote talks to him, and it could talk to other people on the outside, you're like, so the next time I read a Venom comic, should I read two voices in my head? Or if I play the games, who's talking? Is it the symbiote or is it Eddie? Because last time I checked, they are one. They're one person. So I thought that was strange at first, but like you guys said, they try to do a buddy cop film. They try to make it humorous. I mean, if I hear the Venom symbiote say, I want to eat chocolate and chicken, I'm gonna blow my brains out, because I'm like, that's not what you should be doing. Okay, that's all right. You've run its course here.
You brought up such a good example too with Sonic. Like, why are James Marsden and Tika Sumpter in this so much? And I decided after the third Sonic that I'm done. Eric knows this. Like, I already am like a very casual Sonic fan anyway, and 1 and 2 very good, and the third one, and as much as I love Jim Carrey, I'm like, did we need 2 of them, and do they need this dance break in the middle of the film? I'm like, and I'm not the target audience for Sonic 3, but at that point I was like, all right, well, I watched 3 of these. This
was a good time. Yeah, enough of that.
If we got more Keanu Reeves, that's what I asked for.
Yeah, why are James Marsden and Tika Sumpter in this at all when we have Shadow now and we have
Thank you. That's why I'm like, let's go back.
And then they're introducing the pink one. So
that's why I'm like, let's go back to the second one. I remember sitting in the film of the second movie. I was like, oh, cool, Tails and Knuckles, sweet. Why is there a wedding in Hawaii here? This is not. I
with
literally
the guy
was like,
from Criminal Minds.
Yeah, I was like, I'm sorry. I looked to my left and my right to 2 complete strangers. I'm like, I'm sorry. Is this the Sonic 2 movie? I faded out for like a second. That's too fast for me, I said. So, no. So I hope with like these movies don't deteriorate from whoever's on the poster. That's I'm like, you can have good interactions on Transformers and Godzilla, especially -1. -1 had great human characters. God, that movie was good. But it's like Sonic and Venom, if you guys zigzag to other characters, I'm not gonna care anymore, and you just lose interest. So, yeah.
And I will say, just as far as like the Godzilla fans, no one cares about the human characters. We're all concerned with monsters. So that is very much an issue in and of itself over on that end. Eric, honestly, Sonic, the movie series, is set to be the animated Fast and the Furious. It can go on forever. Just as long as Vin Diesel doesn't get involved, they'll just keep cranking those things out, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you know what we want. You know what we want. We want that Super Smash Bros. Movie. So just give us that.
I
don't care.
I really thought we would have gotten. It would have been teased by now, but it has not happened. Maybe in Galaxy. Maybe after Super Mario Galaxy. But
I mean, I feel like at that point,
Pikmin's in it. Pikmin's in the Mario movie.
Yeah, I mean,
so
like
Rob.
If there's not even like a tease of it at that point, I'm gonna probably just stop hoping. But who knows?
Well, they stopped making Detective Pikachu, so like that would have been a way to get Pikachu in,
which was weird.
They didn't make another one, even though it did very well.
Justice Smith.
Probably Justice Smith. Yeah, it was Justice Smith's fault.
Nice guy, I'm sure.
Listen, no Detective Pikachu 2, no second Dungeons and Dragons movie, Justice Smith in the middle.
Just saying. No,
Not a
no, I saw
coincidence.
the TV Glow 2.
Okay, that probably doesn't warrant a sequel.
No, not the way that movie ended. Holy shit.
Aren't we also getting like a Legend of Zelda live action? I know there's
Yes.
pictures and actors, so that's why I'm like, yeah.
Honestly, the fact that and I'm not the biggest Zelda fan, it's not necessarily my thing, but the fact that there has not been an animated Zelda movie, big budget film, is kind of crazy, to be honest.
That's criminal.
It's made for that.
Also, why is Link gonna speak?
Right.
You're kind of going off the rails, Nintendo. What are you doing?
Also getting Masters of the Universe movie this year. Like, you know, they're trying to dive into all of these like pop culture things that like sometimes animation would just be better for. I would assume.
Thank you.
Everyone's taking the wrong lesson from Barbie, is what's happening. So, you know.
I mean, that animated Transformers 1 was really good. I liked that. I didn't see
that.
it in theaters. I streamed it, and I'm like,
time.
I would have paid $20 to
They
watch
canceled
this.
that sequel. I'm pretty sure they shelved that. I'm pretty sure that's not coming out now. And it was, I really enjoyed that.
Damn.
But again, people are just afraid if it's not like this monster hit, which is why the beginning of 2026 has been so great. We've gotten original IP that have come out, and then have more that are coming out here later on in the year as well. So at least we're getting that. But yeah, more animated stuff. We need work. Me and Brad need to work.
Also, as Phil said when we started this, always bet on Dune. Always bet on Dune, everybody. We at least have that.
Yeah. Well, we'll also transition here because, you know, to kind of, as we get towards the end of the conversation here, Brad also talked to you a little bit about gaming because, of course, we talked about streaming, you know, and I'll just start the conversation right there with Dune. I don't know if any of us played it. Did anybody play that Dune survival
Awakening
game that came out?
No.
No.
Yeah, I mean, first off, they sold it. They're selling it for $40, and I was like, well, no, I'm not gonna play that.
Oh.
But it had, you know, I thought maybe it could be somewhat interesting, but I know at one point I wishlisted it, but I removed it at this point. I just don't think it'd be something that I would want to sink that much time into. Oh, it's on sale right now. Still don't want to play it, but
How much?
It is on sale. $30.
30. Eric, how much is Slay the Spire 2?
$30.
Yeah,
So,
go buy Slay the Spire 2. Do not buy Dune Awakening.
correction, $24.99. So even
Boom.
cheaper. Please go get
Also,
it.
it's got co-op.
And it's got co-op. Yep. Let's
Boom.
play.
I spent $570 to play Pocopia before buying Dune Awakening. So,
Ooh.
and I'm
I'd
not regretting it at all. So
I'd rather.
Or High Guard, which was free.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh. I forgot to uninstall that, by the way. Damn.
You
all
probably
right.
should.
Well, you can't play it now. It doesn't matter.
It's literally just
I have
taking
heard
up
Marathon
space.
is pretty good. Our buddy Dylan, Eric, is playing Marathon, and he's enjoying that.
Yeah,
So
lost
not
me
that I'll
at-
ever play it. But,
Lost me at Bungie and $40.
Yeah, it is.
I thought it was free.
No.
No.
Oh, well, that's not a marathon I'm running.
Yeah.
No.
Nope, sorry.
Yeah,
Damn.
but you know, Dylan, Xbox, Bungie.
I was
his
forced to spend $40 to play Arc Raiders, which I would much rather play. I'm just not playing it. So it's unfortunate.
That's passed me
Yeah,
by.
that's a game you should never play alone. Trust me, I've learned the harshest lessons.
Yeah, no, I don't have no
Don't.
interest in playing it alone, and I'm just not going to link up with enough people to play it. Like when I have other games that I'm playing.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have any interest in. I did the beta and I was like, this is cool, but not for me. But at least it's found an audience a little bit as well. But what are some of those? What are there any games, Brad, that you have? We know that you're always trying to try out new stuff, new games that are coming out. But do you have any? What are some? Maybe pick one or two that are amongst your either your favorites or games that you always know that you can come back to. A comfort game, maybe, if you will. Do you have some of those that are your go-tos?
I actually have a list. Yeah, shout out to you, Discord, for able to make me like a games that I like appear. So this makes hunting and pondering a lot easier. I've always been a big fan of the FromSoft series, so I probably will always go back to Elden Ring Night Rain specifically, which, just saying, Eric, that is a roguelike. I'm just saying that's a
I am
I've
aware.
been
roguelike.
circling Elden Ring for
You know,
years
I mean,
now.
I will consider it.
Your boy does free training. It's zero cost.
It's also
Zero-
multiplayer, isn't it? Isn't Elden Ring also co-op or multiplayer?
Night
Yes.
Rain. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean you can play co-op in Elden Ring technically, right?
Yes, yeah, you can't, it's not like drop in, drop out co-op. It's like, you could summon at certain points in the game, but Night Rain is a pure 3 players, you're on a Fortnite Battle Royale sort of map, and you're fighting 3 bosses in a 3-day cycle. The rewards are random, the items are random, the bosses are random. It's just having a little base of Elden Ring experience helps. But just like that, it's something I could pick up. I've done it on streams. I've played solo. I've played with randoms. I played with friends. It's one of those games where it's like, it's made to be hard, yes, and the roguelike aspect does add some difficulty into the mix, but I tend to believe it finds itself different every time. And why people like roguelikes in certain video games is it's not blatantly repetitive. It's not always the same, and you could always jump in from a certain angle with a certain quick-paced idea. And that's why I like having a high-paced job, is also because in fast-paced video games, I have critical thinking skills I can use to my advantage, with or without a team. Another game that you'll find me going back to is as we mentioned, Marvel Rivals, which, yes, it is free, by the way. I would happily take you boys under my wing, and we can play with robots. We don't need to play against human beings. I have gotten 8 people into this game. 6 of them are still playing it as we speak right now. 2 of them are playing it right now. But it is a competitive, somewhat hero shooter, yes, and that's usually not for everybody. But if I can help you find your role and find a character you generally feel comfortable playing, and you're like, the minute you start saying to me, oh, this game's too easy, we need to jump the difficulty, I'm just gonna smirk and you're gonna see me doing this, and I'm like, okay, let's just up the difficulty a bit, and then you're gonna get better, and you're gonna get bigger numbers, and you're like, I think I'm ready for the real deal. And then joke's on you, I'll be like, the last 2 games we've been playing with human people this whole time, so you were more than ready, you were already better than you thought, it was just locked within you. So the last game I could think of that, well, no, okay, maybe there'll be 2 more. I'll start with Balatro, and Balatro is something you guys seen me on stream. Yes, it's a card deck-based game. It's basically Vegas on drugs, because if you like playing Texas Hold'em, you like playing blackjack, you like having a little risk, you like seeing what kind of cards you get, that's a good one too. And it was like very popular in late 2024, and I said to myself, if this wins Game of the Year, which I think it had nominee for, every game that wins Game of the Year, I make a solemn promise I have to buy it and play it. For example, 2024's Baldur's Gate. I was laughing at it the whole time. I was making fun of it the whole time. The minute it wins, I buy it the day after, and I beat it in 3 months. And I go, I get it. See? So it's like, you out there listening, don't judge games you never played. Just play it and find out for yourself. You'll actually feel like this was a game for me. I shouldn't talk bad about it. So when you're heavy breathing to me in the comments, just play it. Play it and then come at me, okay? And the last one I can think of, as of like the last 2 years, is Warhammer 40k Space Marines 2. It's basically, if you like old school Halo, you like old school Gears of War, you just want to play a hell yes game with your bros and your friends. You don't have to know anything about Warhammer 40k. You don't have to play the tabletop. If you just like non-stop bloody violence with your friends and feeling like a badass, it was on sale on Steam for $20. I can't praise that game enough. And it's got co-op, it's got customization. There's nothing more I need to say. And I'm still playing it to this day, and it's still pumping content. And it's 2 years old, by the way. That's very rare for games these days to keep up with its audience, keep the fan base going. Any other game, it would have been dead after 6 months. It's been 2 years, and people are still playing it.
Yeah, that game actually did just get added to PlayStation Premium, so people can also play it over there as well. Definitely something that, you know, we had circled a little bit at one point because it looked very much like Gears, right, Eric? I know you didn't have the best experience jumping back into Gears 1. Specifically online play.
Did not go well.
Like, yeah, we'll play Horde mode. Horde mode's not in Gears 1, so it's like, okay, never mind.
Yeah, recap, I went into a lobby, and I wasn't paying attention. All I hear is this guy go, "Oh, it ain't! This guy stinks! Get him out of here!" And I was like, "Oh, that's me. Oh, that's me. He's talking about me."
That was never our thing. We never did competitive multiplayer on Gears.
No, Horde mode was definitely like the
Horde and
appeal.
co-op.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
We beat, I think, 1, 2, and 3 together. But
I would argue it's not a good multiplayer game. It doesn't play very well, but that's just, again, it's a skill issue.
oh
for
yeah,
sure.
people love online Gears, man. I don't know why people. It just felt so clunky and slow, but like
exactly,
we're also so used to the Halos and the Call of, like that's what we were built.
Yeah.
We were
The
built
Fortnite
from.
brain. I mean, you were talking about jumping into Rivals was really easy to jump into, Brad. For us, me and Phil could load up Fortnite tonight and get a dub.
100%.
Guaranteed.
We could win one. We could
Guaranteed.
Win a game right now.
Guaranteed.
We could win a game right now. I very much I was a Moon Knight player when it first came out. Eric got very good with Luna Snow, and Luna Snow was your primary. You were very good with Luna.
Healing's just my thing in games. It's just like it's just my role. Otherwise,
even when we very briefly played Overwatch, like that you were also still a healer, but again, it's great that game has found an audience, and a big part of it again is because it is free to play, so you don't necessarily have to buy the skins, but they know what they're doing over there, so we're gonna buy.
They do. They do. Yeah, thanks, Guang Guang. Thank you.
Yeah, gonna buy some of those here. So, but yeah, Eric, anything else you got for Brad as we kind of again get to the tail end of this conversation? Anything else you want to discuss in the pop culture end, or anything else?
No, and like I said, this was going to be one of those things where we just kind of picked up the conversations we've had in the past, and we're going to continue to have. So, if you are hanging out with us at some of these events, you might see Brad there. If you're hanging out with us on Twitch and our Discord, a lot of these conversations, just like this one, taking place. And Brad, I'm just really appreciative of the time that you've given us to be able to spotlight you. It is definitely our pleasure to be able to do so. And you're no one else, especially Phil. I mean, Phil's just awful, so he really doesn't deserve anything. You, on the other hand, opposite end of the spectrum, you deserve everything coming to you. So we are very big fans, and we just really appreciate you as a person and the work that you're doing. Really great stuff, man.
Thank you guys again. It means a lot coming from you guys, especially since I've only known you for a brief amount of time, but you guys are just wonderful people, and whatever you're doing, please keep it up. You guys are doing fantastic. There are people that that do this for a short span of time, and they just drop it, but you guys have been absolutely killing it. I see your updates on your Instas and your stories, and you guys just amaze me with your achievements, so please keep it up. Don't lose who you are. Keep that stride going. I just want to see you guys succeed more and more. So please, keep it up.
Yeah, likewise, man. And we'll have to make it down to, you've traveled to us essentially twice now, so we'll have to go to, we've been putting off a Tampa show for the longest time, Eric, so we need to go to a Tampa
let's just knock it out.
St. Pete show this year, so we can at least get to your neck of the woods, because you're always traveling to see us. Bummed we won't get to see you at MegaCon, but that's okay. There'll be other shows here this year. But Brad, please, as we wrap up, let everybody know your handles, any of the projects you want to plug. Let everybody know where they can find you as we wrap up.
Sure. No, surprisingly, it's pretty scary how easy I am to find me. I am on so many social medias. You can find me on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube by literally just going into I'm sure everyone who's no matter what age watching and listening to this on the Googles, and just type Shadow Brad. You'll find like 10 matches of me. It depends on what flavor of social media you want. And as an actor, you can find me on my professional website. You could just look up Brad Lane. I'm also on IMBD, which that's a plugin for my website as well. The current project that I'm the most excited and proud to let you guys know is I am the main MC for a webtoon comic called The Maidenless Night, which has the biggest smile on my face that I am part of a somewhat spin-off, not canon Elden Ring Dark Souls media by the author reaching out to me via a Discord by just saying, I can't stop but writing new chapters and hearing your voice in my head. And when I dropped the first audition for this role, I was just myself. I just acted as the pages gave it to me. And I couldn't believe that the mediator, the director, was like, don't change anything. Whatever you did, don't change that. And I smiled and goed, I didn't do anything. I just acted as I was in the thing. If that's what you want, I'll keep this up. So that to me has been my biggest achievement so far. It is a non-paid gig, but it is just a fun project I'm happy of, and it's just, the author just got 2 patrons yesterday, so it's going to keep growing. So check out The Maidenless Night webtoon comic. It's completely free to read. If you want to check out and hear my voice, it's 3 words in one. It's text to dub, TEXTTODUB, one word. Text to dub. Check out his YouTube channel. You'll find a whole playlist of 19 videos with my voice on all those chapters.
Absolutely, and everything, as we mentioned, will be in the show notes of this episode, so you can keep up with Brad and everything he is up to, which is also where you will find everything related to the Wait For It podcast, also in the show notes. So make sure you keep up with us over on social media, Instagram, TikTok. Join our growing Discord community. Follow us on YouTube, like, share, and subscribe. Also, make sure to check us out over on Twitch, where we stream every other week. And continue to follow us personally. Follow Eric over on his stream, on his Twitch stream, where he is streaming multiple times a week, and then also continue to follow me as I navigate my voice acting journey. Eric alluded to it earlier. The first episode of Amongst Gods and Men, the Ambrosia Case, is officially out on streaming platforms, so make sure to check out all of that. But yeah, we appreciate you, and also head on over to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you're listening. Give the Wait For It podcast 5 stars if you could. We'd be very, very appreciative. But if you're looking to get some more out of the show, maybe getting episodes early or also having a hand in the content that we release, Eric will let you know a little bit more about that before wrapping us up.
Yeah, so for the month of April, you came in at the right time for the Wait For It podcast. It's Patreon month, and this is where we have patrons of the show: Briar, T3 Kato, Vintage, Corey from The World Is My Burrito, Nick Casbaro, the author of the Vidalirium series, and Botter from the Shortbox podcast, supporting us monthly in exchange for behind the scenes and early access to episodes like this one. They're also getting the ability to choose movies and or games that we will be watching and or playing this month. And we have this at least 2 times a year, which is really fun. If you want to be a part of that ongoing and growing community, feel free to do so. But if you can't, we get it. All the free stuff that Phil mentioned goes a long way in helping the show grow, and we really do appreciate it. With all that being said, my name is Mr. Eric Almighty. That is my co-host, Phil the Filipino, and our guest, Brad Lane, aka Shadow Brad. Please remember that we release new episodes every Wednesday for the podcast, and all you have to do is wait for it.
This is the Wait For It podcast.